The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
And here we are. We are now live on another episode of The Dorkening. See, James, I told you that was the shorter one.
Gotta age drastically in that.
And Steven's here.
Hello, everyone.
So we took last week off. Needed a little break. How you doing?
Well, good. You know, I mean, I think the best you can. It was a long 5 days, but it was definitely, you know, at least for me, Harrison has not been the most cooperative in the last couple of weeks. So I do thank you for Leo for giving us the break off, so I can at least regain some of my sanity. Yeah. But yeah, no, he's been up at like 3 o'clock in the morning the last couple of days, and I told Leo, I was like, I'm gonna be like, yep. Like, it was just bad.
We can't have that, and you need your sleep. You know, this is we all.
Jen's Jen's already in bed. She's already in bed. Harrison's been crazy. He's sick, so we're giving him the benefit of the doubt. But man, you like step like on like a crack, and it's like, you're awake. I want to come hang out. Like, it's party time. Like, literally, like if he could have like little baby glow sticks at 2 a.m., it's like a little baby rave. It's crazy.
Oh, that's hilarious. So everything else good with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's good.
You okay there? Are you okay there, Steve? You're like,
No, I had that week off to recover because I was kind of incapacitated. But yeah, I had a.
You know, it's up to you if you want to tell. Just you were down for the count and you've recovered nicely.
Yeah, well said, James.
DM directly at Super Retro Throwback Reviews if you want the gory details.
No. No.
Well, speaking of gory details, PlayStation comes out tomorrow, and chances of getting one is like next to nil.
Not unless you know a guy.
Wait. What? Are you getting one?
What? No, God, no. I'm waiting until spring. I wait till the next batch comes out.
It seems like PlayStation 5 and Xbox are already dropping the ball because there's an article that's already out that PlayStation 5 storage is crashing the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. I called the Xbox One of like 30 seconds ago. I apologize. I'm not.
It's because they couldn't think of a better name because they screwed it up when they did Xbox 360.
Yeah.
If they just called it like Xbox DOS or something simple, they wouldn't have to be. Like I said, for me, PlayStation, like Nintendo and PlayStation has got, even Sega to a point, had the naming of the consoles like down perfectly. PlayStation, it's numerical, so you can't really mess that up.
Yeah.
But like Xbox, you could, like, for me like Xbox, when they made it 360 and then it was the Xbox One, you lost track of what was going on.
Yep.
For me, I always thought I thought the Switch should have just been called Nintendo, the Nintendo system, because it's never been called Nintendo.
Back to what I was saying was, not only did someone post a picture of you could put your GameCube on top of the Xbox Series.
That was awesome.
X.
I saw that this morning. I laughed hysterically at that.
But people are saying that it's smoking and
that's fake. That's already been proven. It's someone's using vape cartridge.
And
like Xbox had to come out being like, guys, just stop.
Yeah.
There's something else that
I saw the ping pong one that holds that if you put a ping ball on top of the black one, it floats in midair because that's how powerful the fan is to keep it cool.
and the systems are huge. I mean, that's crazy.
If you compare it to the monolith in 2001: A Space Odyssey, that's what I call it, the monolith of Xbox consoles. Because,
me, like, is it? Oh yeah, the thing was gigantic. Well, they said what PlayStation said, the PlayStation 5 was supposed to be taller. We're supposed to be bigger than what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you decided you get in PlayStation, James, or you're going to go for?
Oh, no. I've always had PlayStation. I've been a PlayStation since PlayStation. I had an Xbox and a PlayStation 2 at the same time at one point. At another point, I had a PlayStation, GameCube, and I had the 3 at that time. I've always been like, my Xbox has always been like, if I wanted another system to play certain Xbox games. Like, for a while, it was Mass Effect. I really wanted an Xbox just to play Mass Effect. And then when Mass Effect came out on PlayStation, I was like, okay, give me another non-exclusive title that's not on both systems. And then, like, I'm not a Gears fan. I'm not a race car fan. There's just no first system games that I like. And right now, I even joked around with Jen. Like, I know Yo-Yo's helping me get an Xbox One for cheap. I kind of really don't need it right now due to the fact that the unbelievably awesome news that came out on N7 Day this past Saturday. BioWare finally released the Legendary Edition of the Mass Effect trilogy, coming out on all current gen and next gen systems. And they said it's not a complete remake of the game. It's very much, they upscaled the graphics, they redid the controls, they updated the frame rate, cleaned up a lot of the animation. It's coming with all the DLC. It's coming with all the pre-order bonuses and stuff like that. And that comes spring 2021, which I'm like, about fucking time. Like, come on.
So are you going to get it for PS4 and then PS5 when you get your PS5, or just wait?
I don't know yet, because for me, it's very much, I know they said 95% of the PS4 games will be able to be playable on the PS5. I don't know if that means the disc will work, because I think that's always been the question. And I don't think they've really answered, like, can I put my PS4 disc into my PS5 and the PS5 read it? Because I think a lot of that stuff, I think, is digital. I think they've been stressing. So, like, I have like The Last of Us 2 remastered for my PlayStation 4. That's the PlayStation 4 combo set I bought, was The Last of Us remastered edition. Is that download going to work on the PlayStation 5? So stuff like that I'm curious about. I think I'll do a little bit more homework before I purchase it. But for me, it's been, like, Jen even asked me, like, is that what you want for Christmas? Is the PlayStation 5? I said, good luck. But yeah, I would love that. But I could, for me, I can wait. What time do I have to play video games? So it's one of those things where, you know, I will get it eventually, but I'm in zero rush to get into the next gen. So,
another thing that's coming out on Friday is it's from Nintendo, but they're coming out with like a thing, a Game and Watch thing for Mario.
Yeah, that has Super Mario 1 on it.
Yeah.
Well, the Game and Watch is what it used to be. That's what they're known for.
So is it the same graphics as the old Game and Watch, or is it like updated, or?
It's updated, so it's like an emulation of the Game
and Watch.
Like, so like there is Game and Watch games on it but then they have the actual pixelated version of Super Mario 1.
Gotcha.
And lost levels.
Yeah.
And you have a clock on there too. So it has like different like things like it'll have like it's like a 24-hour clock, and each hour there's like a special Mario bonus thing that it does. It'll sing, it'll do this, it'll do that.
The one thing I have to say, who has a Switch in here? Is it just you, Lee, or do you have a Switch? You have a Switch. We all have Switches.
Yeah.
Is anybody playing Super Mario 35?
No,
I haven't yet.
Oh my! Do it. It's unbelievably fucking addictive. It really is.
I tried Tetris, and
it's competitive Mario. You're
playing.
You're playing.
Yeah, I know. It's the same thing as Tetris 99. Have you done that yet?
No, because I hate
I
Tetris.
love that. I love Tetris 99.
So
it's
Mario,
so freaking frustrating though. Okay, go ahead.
I never knew how bad I was at Mario until I started playing this game. Because you're playing with 34 other people and you're kicking it. Like if you bounce a guy, like kill an enemy, it goes to somebody else's screen, so they could be in the middle of a level and they could just have this big line of Goombas or this big line of Bowsers or piranha plants and all this stuff, and it randomly selects levels for you to drop into. It is bonkers, and it's so addictive because it's that like battle royale type of mentality, but you're playing Mario.
It's muscle memory too. So
well, it physically can't be muscle memory though, because you're not going 1-1, 1-2, 1-3. It can bounce from like 1-1 to 3-1 or 4-2 or 1-4.
And, okay, so how much is it?
It's free.
It's free.
It's free if you're with your Nintendo Switch online account, but it's only good until like March. They're saying then the game's going to go away.
That's the same for Super Mario Odyssey for the digital and the physical, and for the Game & Watch thing that comes out on Friday.
Yeah, everything is a limited basis. I'm telling you, it is. I remember I played a lot of it, and Jen's like, "You've been playing a lot." I'm like, "Yeah, I have to get in the top 5. I have to," and like I can't be this bad at Mario.
No, it's because, oh my god. So I consider myself good at Tetris, and I didn't realize Tetris 99 exists. I started playing that, and you're playing with 90. It's the same thing, but you're playing with
98 other people.
Yeah, so like if you get a Tetris, it sends that to somebody else, and yeah, I get demolished on that. I think highest I got is like 65.
I think the highest I got was like 25. I think I got to like the 25th. That was it.
Jen is mentally unbelievably good at Tetris. Like I remember we went to an arcade down in North Carolina when she went down to meet my parents. And she goes like, "Oh, Tetris," and she's like, and I'm like getting bounced, and she's like, like she's just doing it super good. I'm like, "What? Huh?" And then I'm like, "Screw you! I'm playing skee ball."
Get her on Tetris 99. It's free as well on Nintendo Online.
Oh, she hates video games. She hates like that. She's like, an arcade is again, but for me, arcade will always be different. But Leah, I'm surprised you're not on it, man. You're gonna play it, and you're gonna be like, "God damn it, James."
Yeah, exactly. I just finished Ghost of Tsushima. Oh,
did you really finish it though?
Yeah, no, I did.
Did you really?
Yeah, I didn't get platinum, but
so you didn't finish it?
I did. I beat the game.
No, you didn't.
Oh, jeez.
I'm still trying to get through AVGN Adventures 1 and 2 Deluxe on Switch.
Oh my god, I heard that's unbelievably hard, but so much fun.
Yeah. We just reviewed it last week on our podcast, and actually Screenwave complimented us on the review, but it's fantastic. The graphics are updated, and a lot of stuff has changed. Yeah.
Then you didn't finish it.
Yeah.
No, I'm still going through it.
No, so the second one has more murder blocks in it, right? Like it ups the hardness.
The higher the difficulty you get, yeah.
That was one of the games I always saw and I was like, oh, I want to play that game so bad, but I really don't want to pay that much money for it.
Yeah, it's worth the $15 though.
Well, now it's more for both games for $15. It's better than one game at $20. Like. I'm cheap like that. I'm sorry. I don't have a lot of time to play, so I'm gonna make it work.
Yeah,
Leo, you haven't beat it until I see that platinum trophy.
Damn it! I don't have time for that. It's bad enough it took me forever to finish it because I only play a little bit on the weekends. I don't really get much time during the week. So
what's your next game?
I'm itching. If I can find a PS5, I'm itching for Miles. And
I heard the gameplay 7.5 to 8 hours of main story gameplay.
Yeah. But if you
just want to play as the cat, don't you?
Well, no, I want if you get the Ultimate Edition, you get the remastered for Spider-Man.
Well, that's probably going to be able for download on PlayStation. It's probably already for sale for the PlayStation and the store.
Well, Horizon Zero Dawn 2 doesn't come out till spring of next year, so
Yeah.
No.
No?
Second
Changed
half.
it.
It's
Changed
that's not their winter game. That's their holiday game next year. You guys know that, right? It's second half of 2021.
Oh, I must have missed the memo then. I thought it was spring of 2021.
Unless it's I saw it as second half, unless it was second quarter. I thought it said second half.
Must have missed it. Must have misread it.
Yeah. That's a game I have to start playing again because I got oh my god, this game takes forever to look up. Because I'm a big I'm not a same for Red Dead. Like a lot of these open world games, I just want to do the story because you've built this awesome world in it. I want to explore it, but I want to explore it while I play the game. I don't want to be doing ancillary crap.
Well, okay, but
let me do the story.
the ancillary crap though, all like the side missions and when you find the holograms that show you the past, there's some awesome spots where you get to see the world before it went to hell.
You talking about
Again.
Zero Dawn or are you talking about Fallout?
Zero Dawn.
Zero Dawn.
Why Fallout has something like that too?
War never changes.
I never got into Fallout 4.
Oh, dude, it's so much fun. I love Fallout.
I have it for the PlayStation. I just too many games, too little time.
Well, trust me, I don't think Fallout 5 is going to be readily available for the PlayStation.
Yeah. Or Skyrim 6, or not Skyrim, Elder Scrolls 6. That's not.
So you can buy it 85 times.
Yeah. Okay, so PS5, you're gonna get it in the spring. Steven, you're gonna get it at some point.
Yeah, whenever I have extra money, yes.
Yeah.
Come on, stimulus check number 2. You
guys watching Mandalorian, of course.
Of course.
Oh my god, the season's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yes and no.
What do you mean yes and no?
Yes and no.
What? Okay, Baby Yoda with the eggs this episode. Oh.
That was adorable.
Yeah.
I don't see what the backlash of that is. I don't get that backlash.
Okay,
I just found out about the backlash 2 hours ago. So
Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing ever. And I love Lucas Arts. It's he's a child who eats wild things. He doesn't know it's an egg. He just thinks it's food. It's what you do in the wild.
and they even say in the episode it's unfertilized eggs. So he's not killing anything.
He's eating an egg.
Yeah.
But for
people are idiotic,
cancel culture running wild.
Yeah.
For me, it's very much. I didn't mind the second episode. I really liked it. I know a lot of people didn't like it because it very much was a non-episode. I know that I was reading it didn't do anything to move the plot forward. I'm it did a ton to move the plot forward. It moved it a lot forward. Even just with the New Republic, and you kind of see that the New Republic isn't any better than it was the whole thing of what's going on with that and currently. For me, it's just that first episode was really good and I really enjoyed it. I think Timothy Olyphant is just an awesome actor to begin with, but he literally plays a sheriff in every single show or movie he's been in.
Yeah.
I like that whole thing with the Boba Fett armor. By the way, I never knew that little thing on the top of his head was a targeting computer until that episode.
And I love that he actually shot the rocket. So it's
twice.
Yeah.
But for me, it was and I know they're probably going to come back to that. That's not all because they focus a lot on the armor lately. So I feel like that's going to become a bigger issue in a couple episodes down the road. That's not the last we're going to be on Tatooine, especially as we're well, I hope to see you again. Okay, that's foreshadowing that I feel like the season ending coming back to Tatooine.
He's going to have to encounter Boba Fett eventually.
Exactly.
Oh, 100%. And I get that. And for me, it's very much how are they going to pull it off? Because in my mind, that whole thing at the end of the first episode where it's oh, it's Boba Fett. Cool, awesome. There he is. We see him. Cool. He's there. He survived. He got out of the Sarlacc pit. Great. We all knew that. It was one of those things where I wish They never told us that leading up to this season. Like, I just felt like that was because I think that moment had such a huge gravitas for this series, but then finding out, okay, that's not Boba Fett, but like, oh, is that him on the ridge? Like, or is that one of the clones that are survived the Clone War? Because supposedly they're in this as well. And my biggest concern now is that they're going to harken back to some of the secondary shows and being like, look, there's that person, there's that place, there's this one creature. So stuff like that, I'm kind of just like, I hope they don't go down that fan service road too much.
Well,
and that's my concern. That's just my concern, is that it was such a well-received show that they're going to try to jam a lot of exposition into these episodes and a lot of fan service to set up ancillary stuff. I don't want it to be the Age of Ultron of the Mandalorian show. Like, I don't want that. I don't want this to get convoluted and bogged down with stuff that has nothing to do with the Mando story.
So the Timothy Oliphant Western section of that, apparently that whole story happened in a book. And this was just, another retelling of that. Oh, you're muted.
I'm not surprised by that, just due to the fact that they've gone to the well so many times to get good story arcs for the show, which I'm all for. I love seeing the Ralph McCordy drawings come to life. I'm glad to see some of the other things come to life. It's just one of those things where I look at being like, okay, like, I like they're going back into Legends and making it canon again. I want a couple of surprises, and I hope I get them, but it feels like they've laid a lot of the surprises out in front of us that you could. Are you telling me that, like, there was no mention of Boba Fett or anything? That first reveal in the cantina would have been unbelievable, but you're like, okay, and then they're like, oh, you have to go to Tatooine. The second, like, you're going to Tatooine, I'm like, okay, it's Boba Fett.
Yep.
Like, there was no draw, there was no mystery, there was nothing to be like, why is he back on Tatooine? Why, there's been a Mandalorian sighting on Tatooine. Who was the last Mandalorian on Tatooine? Like, it was one of those, like, okay,
no shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, who could be? And then, like, and then the way it ended, it was like, okay, cool. Like, he's watching over his armor. He wants to get it back. Or maybe he doesn't. Like, who knows? And so, like, that's cool. But then you hear that, like, oh, there's a Boba Fett show coming out now. It's like, are you just fucking setting up the show now? Like, is that what you did with this episode or these couple episodes? Like, if that's the case, fuck you, Jon Favreau. Like, that's so stupid. Because that's what Marvel does. And I don't want Star Wars to be Marvel. I want Star Wars to be Star Wars, and they're doing some good stuff lately. And I don't want them to be like Kathleen Kennedy's getting in Paul Feig's head or vice versa, to be like, oh, we're going to start putting seeds and we're going to start mentioning other things that happen in this universe. Like, no, like, it was so good with The Mandalorian that it was just him, and stuff was talked about. Stuff was discussed that happened in this universe. But now you're going to start pulling in these other, like Ahsoka. Why does she have to be in this episode, this show?
Yeah, this is like this is long after Clone Wars, so it wouldn't make sense for her to be in it.
It's way after Clone Wars. You also have that Mandalorian, the character who has the Mando armor from Rebels is in this. She's in it. You have Kate Stackhoff's character from Rebels in it as well. You also have the Bad Batch is in it from Clone Wars and Rebels. So you have clone troopers that survived, the Clone Wars and the Civil War and all this stuff. You have like all these like references to other things. I'm sitting there being like, why are you doing this? Like,
wasn't there talk they're bringing Rex into it as well?
Yeah, he's in it too.
Yeah,
he's part of the Bad Batch. There was all this stuff. Like, I'm like, guys, you don't need it. Like, give me, like, it was one of those things like, oh, this is such new information. And like, for me, it was like, okay, cool. They kind of mention Endor, and they kind of mention what happened after the fall of the Empire with Cara Dune and the shock troopers and doing what she was doing afterwards. and then she was from Alderaan, and that was kind of it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you weren't going to planets. You went to Tatooine, which was like the only planet you really knew, but you weren't going to planets you knew of.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, we're going to Tatooine. Like, okay, we're going back to Tatooine. Going back to Tatooine. A lot of these desert planets exist in this galaxy.
Yep.
Again, for me, it was just like, okay, cool. Like, you learn stuff about the Tusken Raiders, which was really, really cool. Oh, look, we're on a desert planet. We got to have Jawas. Like, you know, stuff like that. I'm like, you don't need that. Like, give me new aliens, give me new stories, give me new creatures. And you get that, like, right in the first episode. You're like, oh, cool, new planet, like, where it's, it's you can't be in the darkness because there's these creatures here and stuff like that. Like, that's cool. But then you go to an ice planet with an ice spider, which then you find out was in the drawing for a spider that's supposed to be in Hoth from Empire.
Well,
okay.
Apparently those spiders have been in the Star Wars mythos for a while.
Yeah, there's like ice spiders, basically.
Yeah.
But like for me, I'm just concerned that they're going to go down this path in which they're just going to reference stuff. Like, I remember that. Do you remember that? I remember. I remember Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I mean, for me, you build up that, and I like that first episode was an hour long. I liked it. It was a long episode, and it didn't feel like an hour long. That was the best thing. It didn't feel like it was an hour. But are you telling me that you couldn't have that build up to the point where he could not have unmasked himself, Rick, right away? Like, why don't you play that he is Boba Fett, he is a Mandalorian, and not automatically give away that he's not? Like, and then, get to a point where it's into a point where, like, you find out through, he's telling the story and he's starting to put it together. And what's up, Sergio? He's starting to put it together, and then he confronts him that, like, you are not a Mandalorian, give me the armor. A nice gradual buildup, not like, oh, here I'm Tom. That's me. I'm not. I just bought this stuff. Like, it, like, come on, like, you build the suspense a little bit. I want to believe that's still Boba Fett. I want to think that Boba Fett survived. He's all scarred underneath there, and he can't leave the planet because of whatever reason. So that he's just stuck here, and like, and he just made a deal that, like, he'll protect the town for information or whatever. Or he's just like, nope. It's just like, hi, I'm protecting the town because no one else will.
I get what you're saying. I'm still enjoying it. I know you guys.
I am too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just, you're one season into it, and what's the second season normally called? The Riker season. You're supposed to take a step up. You're supposed to move the story forward.
Third season is supposed to be.
Riker had the beard in season 2.
Did he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Now I got to go back and watch Next Generation.
Yeah, but so, like,
season you had that doctor, and you didn't get Beverly back until the third season.
Oh my god. Okay, we're really gonna say it's the doctor that made the second season better? Okay. But for, like, me, it's one of those things, like, and I'm glad, like, this second episode with the passenger is going 2 episodes long. But it's like, okay, so what the next episode is them going to be on that water planet. So you're going to see Sasha Banks' character.
Yeah.
But it's like also to one of these things too, where I think it's very interesting looking at the episode recently and looking back, is like, okay, like, it's only been, I'm doing really, really bad math, roughly 25 years since the Jedi Purge, the end of the Clone War.
Yep.
Roughly 25 years, I think it is. Like, that's where the Mandalorian happens. The Jedi just are been purged from common knowledge. Like, the armor person even says it, like, the Jedi. Yeah. Like, they were unsure about it. I'm almost positive there's a whole 2 seasons of Clone Wars where the Siege of Mandalorian and the Jedis were trying to, like, their stories of his kind, and this magical religion group of the Jedi. There's a planet called Jedi. Like, you just, Darth Vader was rumored to be, like, Luke Skywalker is rumored to be one. Like, these heroes and villains of the Civil War you just fought. were rumored to be Jedi. It's the whole thing with like Han Solo. I just think it's a whole bunch of hocus pocus around sleepy time. Like stuff like that. Like I said, and I'm very nitpicking, and I apologize to our listeners that I am nitpicking, but stuff like that kind of like doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I get you. And, maybe some decisions were made that they're going to try to tie in other stuff just in case. I forgot the main character's name.
Mando. It's called Mando.
Yeah, no. I mean, the actor that plays Mando.
Oh, Pedro.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, there was talk of him maybe leaving. And I mean, if he leaves, maybe it becomes the Boba Fett show. I don't know.
Is that like a variety hour, like the Boba Fett variety show?
Exactly.
We already had that in the holiday special, though.
Well, we're getting a new.
Don't stop it. Shut up. No, we're not talking about that travesty that's gonna be out there.
That's gonna be awesome.
No, it's gonna be terrible. I'm sorry. That is gonna be unbelievably terrible.
They're adding time travel to Star Wars. What else do you need?
Yeah, because that worked so great in Endgame. The last ditch of a good show is to add time travel.
So maybe they'll like merge Star Trek with it as well.
Well, you can't be mad. In Rebels, they brought in time travel. Like, if you watched any of Rebels, there was a whole season where they had an episode, like one of the last episodes right before the premiere of Last Jedi, showed them going through time. Yeah. Is it sad that they can't do a holiday special with the current sequel cast? They have to keep going back to the original trilogy.
Oh, yeah, because it's they fucked it up. You know what's not fucked up though? You can buy Baby Yoda for $3.75.
And is Megan letting you do that?
She asked, "Is this something I need for Christmas?" I'm tempted.
Why don't you just go spend
that?
Leo, on Sunday, you take your money and go down to your local Lego store and go buy the Ecto one.
I'd rather get a Baby Yoda. Look
Why?
how cute he is.
Those eyes will follow you at night.
That's what Megan said. She said
Steven Dwarf's going to start talking about him. Or Brad Dwarf.
Megan says the eyes make him super creepy.
Andy.
Install some Ring cameras and replace it instead of the eyes, and just put it right outside your front door.
So I've been seeing some other podcasters get him, and he's pretty big. The Adam Savage unboxing was pretty cool.
Andy.
Well, it's bigger than an apple.
Yeah. He's almost life size, I think.
Put him side to side with an Xbox Series X. See how big he is.
Basically.
Yeah. So yeah, $3.75.
Yeah, I'm all set with that.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll probably go for a PlayStation instead.
How many Baby Yodas do you have?
I don't know.
I see
6, 7.
1, 2. Behind you, I see like 2.
There's 7 behind me.
He has more Baby Yodas than I do Porgs.
How many Porgs do you have?
I have the one that goes on the window. I think I have like 5 or 6.
Just when Funko pulled, I'm just done collecting Funkos. Now they're pulling me back in. The comment before about Funko with the child canister, I'm gonna have to collect that. I mean, I've officially retired from Funko collecting when that Snake Plissken Funko was a New York Comic Con exclusive, and you can only do it for the Funko lottery. And damn you, Funko!
Well, for me, I went off on Box Lunch about Funko. So they had a Funko thing about Up when they were doing the mailbox.
Yeah,
And it was only at Box Lunch, and so there's a Box Lunch right by me. And so, they said, we'll post on our Instagram when they're available because they didn't know when their shipment was coming in. So they were like, here it is. So I get there, they open at 12. So I get there like around 11:30. There's literally a line of like 10 people there with like chairs, and they all know each other. And I'm sitting there being like, these are the assholes who buy the shit and then upcharge it online.
Yep, exactly.
I want to get it for my wife because she likes Up. Up is one of our favorite movies. Like I bought her the adventure book. We did a bunch of Up stuff when we were at Disney for our honeymoon. And so I was like, oh, I'm just going to give it to her and just give it to her as like an earlier anniversary gift. So I go in there and they had like 16 or 17. And so they're like 2 per customer. I'm like, okay, and I'm doing the math and I'm doing the people. And I'm like, okay, I should be like the last one. I should get like the last one.
Yeah.
But I go to the wall first because they had 2 of the Haunted Mansion ones that I needed to almost finish off my Haunted Mansion set. And so like a guy comes over to me, he's like, you can get those cheaper at Target, right? And they're really hot. I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't really care. I'm gonna go home and open them. Like, I don't really keep them in the box. I actually like display them like out in the open. Yeah. And he goes, oh, but you could. I'm like, no, I'm. And then I get in line. And the guy's like, hey, Crystal. Hey, Jen. Hi, Steve. Like, they know each other. 2, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get one. The person in front of me got the last 2.
Oh, no.
And I know for a fucking fact that they're going to go resell them.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And I'm sitting there being like, and so I wrote like 6 or 7 tweets to fucking Box Lunch and just fucking went off on them. Being like, I am not going to resell this. I needed this as a gift.
Yeah.
And now they haven't been back in the store since. So it's like, it's fucking stupid. That's the one thing I hate about Funko. Like, dude, just fucking put enough out there that everybody wants them. Like,
that's why I stopped collecting Funkos, especially the thing with the Snake Plissken earlier, like a few months ago. That sent me over the edge. As much as a Carpenter fan I am, that would have been perfect to grace the studio walls. But I think the one thing that ticks me off about the bots is shoes. The Ghostbusters shoes from Reebok or Fright Rag shirts.
no, yeah.
There's some. I think there was the whole thing with the Mario thing we were talking about earlier. They were also doing something with Puma. The Puma shoes. I think the day after the announcement, that whole Nintendo Direct thing that they had a couple months ago, the day after Puma was doing Super Mario shoes, like the minute after they launched them, they were gone. Bots scalped them up and like quadrupled the price of what they originally were. It's the same with tickets for concerts. I've gone to, and the thing with, another thing, NECA is another one. As much as I collect NECAs, I have a personal vendetta with the NECA Super Shredder. I was about to get one and it was gone.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. So the NECA TMNT figures, they were impossible to find at Walmart. Yeah, but the scalpers all got them, and
yo
$700 and $80 shipping for the set. That's ridiculous. And
but they know people will buy them because people are suckers.
Yeah.
But
and NECA, they don't make enough. Same thing with the Ghostbusters figures as well.
Yeah.
So the Kenners. That's Hasbro.
No, I thought there was NECA Ghostbusters figures.
And the thing with NECA,
they don't have NECA Ghostbuster figures.
Really?
No, not yet.
They're just Hasbro.
Yeah, they have to have the license before they make it. But the thing with NECA, they have their San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. Some of the things that they release. One of them I was happy to obtain. It was John Connor with the speeder bike. That was from last year, and you had to like go to their store on a certain day on a certain hour. I think it was during the Comic-Con weekend or 2 weeks before the San Diego Comic-Con, and you had to, buy the figure. They have a certain schedule to do it before they just go to San Diego, and bots scalp them up real quick. But
Yeah, I mean, and I know some of these places do their best to like to combat the bots. They do, and even Funko guys said like we do our best. Our systems aren't perfect. We they're always one step ahead of us. It seems like, but like for me, it's like I get the whole exclusion things, but when like you literally have an exclusion for every retailer, it's like come on, and it's like guys, just release the stuff. Like put it out there. Like I don't mind the hunt for certain stuff. And I was talking to Jen, and this has just gotten worse because when we went for a honeymoon, like when we had our wedding, you literally could get these pops anywhere. So that's why it was so easy to find sets for our tables. We were talking about like now is like if we wanted a set for a table, we would have to make up our mind right then and there in ThinkGeek or FYE or GameStop or wherever to buy those then and there. And then just have them, and that's what it turned into towards the end. It was like, okay, what can we get to finish off a table? Like, if you don't get that pop right then and right then and now, you're never going to find it again. And we've run into that a couple times. So,
yeah, exactly. Yo.
what does taking L's mean?
Yeah.
Losses. Oh. Right, Yo, that's what I mean, losses.
Yeah, scalpers suck. So same thing with the PlayStation 5, it's they were selling, the scalpers had the robots picking up the pre-orders, and they were going for twice as much on eBay.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was interesting that Xbox, some GameStops had the Xbox One, Xbox X's, the triple X box, whatever the hell they're calling it.
The 2001 monolith, just call it that.
Yeah. The friggin', whatever was at GameStop on Tuesday. They had a limited number in store, even though they said none of these systems are supposed to be in store. That number is just going to go up as of tomorrow morning. Just be aware of that.
So, but here's the thing: this person has multiples, more than 81% sold. So he has, there's 2 available at $1,700. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is,
and he sold 3 already.
When they were doing the pre-orders for Walmart and all these other places, like some of the stores only got like under 10 in stock, and people were like pre-ordering them, and there was like a line out the door, like over 20 people, and you only had like pre-orders of under 10, and can't fulfill the demand if there's 20 people and they pre-ordered, so
yeah, they need to figure out something.
Well, I know you can't go in stores tomorrow to buy it at PlayStation. Everything's online.
Yep. Which is ridiculous.
Same with Black Friday. Black Friday now for all these stores are now online. That's why I got my girlfriend's Christmas present so early. It's you can do it now before they've been doing this like for a month.
It's gonna be like 2 months of Black Friday deals because no one wants to have what it normally is because of the crowd capacity in some of these stores. But yeah, like I said, I'm very curious. Like, supposedly Sony learned from their mistake with the pre-orders, and then tomorrow was supposed to be a lot smoother. But there's been no clarification if you can buy it at 12:01 Eastern, or is it 12:01 Pacific, or is it 9 a.m.? Like they haven't told them when.
Yeah, and then Walmart's going to be multiple times throughout the day
as they restock. Yeah. Which is good. Have that delayed. If you have 100 of them, say you have 100,000 of them. That's just instead of giving 100,000 away at 9 o'clock, give 20. Give 25,000 at first, 25,000, and just because like what was the story? I was reading something. Oh, it was from Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps. They one episode they actually did like a podcast, which was actually like really good during the pandemic. And he was saying like he got his PlayStation 4 on launch day just because he wanted Amazon and just randomly refreshed, and they had them available, and he bought it. And then when they refreshed it again after he purchased it, they were all gone. Like it's literally sometimes you're just threading the needle. Like that's how it was when I was looking for Switches. I threaded the needle one day and just found one on launch day at a friggin' Target. Like
that was me too. Like on launch day, out of sheer force of will, I went in the morning, and I wasn't the only one. They only had 3 in stock, and it was me and 2 other people walked out with like the last 3. And yeah.
So Lee, if I'm you and you really want a PlayStation 5, you just gotta just check the sites.
Well,
hit the F5 button, just get your finger ready.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if I get it, I'm gonna get it through Best Buy because I have the interest-free financing with them. So it's just get it through.
Are you gonna get the digital one, or are you gonna get the disc drive?
The disc drive version.
Yeah, I can't do the digital. I can't. I have to have physical media.
Yeah. No,
so I got a question for you guys. So is Wonder Woman actually coming out on Christmas Day this year, or is Warner Brothers going to wait as humanly possible to tell us?
I think all the movies this year have been pushed. They pushed Death of the Nile, and I think they pushed Wonder Woman already.
And
it's still on the calendar for.
It is still on
Christmas.
The calendar.
Yep.
Okay.
They pushed Dune. They pushed Dune out of the calendar month for that.
Yeah, Wonder Woman is the only one. Yo-Yo says keep an eye on all the sites. Set up accounts with the sites. Link your cards for quicker checkout.
But yeah, Death of the Nile. I think it was a Disney property. That got pushed. Black Widow got pushed again.
Yep. Which is ridiculous. Nobody's. You're muted, James.
I got to get a mic stand. I got to get that other mic that you bought me. I just don't have a mic stand, and I hate being like. But of course, buying a mic stand's like $38. Maybe Santa will bring me one. Dear Santa Leo, I've been a really good boy. Can I get a mic stand? Just kidding. And again, great. By the way, this is what we call a transition into our next topic. But anyway, I don't know why Black Widow's not in Disney Plus.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
What's the big deal? The movie's gonna suck. I just can't. Like, you drop that in November, and then you drop WandaVision in December, and you're good. Like,
I would pay the $30 to see it on Disney Plus.
Yeah, and then we would then get it from you for free. So
I will say one thing about WandaVision. I don't know if you guys read the Entertainment Weekly thing, but when they were doing that studio, the Desilu, the Married with Children, all those segments, they had a studio audience, but they had to sign a strict NDA.
Yes.
Oh yeah. A bunch of those. In the 50s, one was shot with 1950s equipment.
And they consulted Dick Van Dyke when producing it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because, if you watch so a lot of it came out in the Entertainment Weekly article, some additional photos and stuff like that. But it kind of confirmed who the villain most likely is going to be. And supposedly it's supposed to be a villain that's going to be the villain in Doctor Strange as well. So
I did not see that. Do you want to spoil?
I don't mind talking about it because, like I said, if you want to put a spoiler warning up, you can put a spoiler warning up. It's up to our listeners.
We'll just say spoilers. Let us know, James.
It's going to be the Marvel devil himself. I cannot pronounce his last. It's just like
Mephisto.
Mephisto is going to be the villain that's going to be in this Doctor Strange and most likely Spider-Man 3.
That's awesome.
So it's not. They're saying most likely it's not going to be a Thanos type arc, where it's going to be, but it's going to be like two or three movies with him as the bad guy.
Now I have a question for you guys about the whole Spider-Man 3. Do you guys believe the rumors of them bringing Garfield and Maguire into it, or do you think of a real life Spider-Verse? Or
I don't think so.
I think it would.
No, I don't think so. I don't think Tom McGuire wants anything to do with it.
I don't believe it either. It's something I read, and it was like, come on.
I mean, for me, for Jamie Foxx as Electro, I'm not against that because it's actually going to be more like the Electro from the comics, like more in the vein of like Vulture, not Captain Blue Pants from Amazing Spider-Man. But again, I don't mind like them overlapping some of these characters because eventually you're gonna have to retread on characters. You could not get anybody else to be J. Jonah Jameson other than J.K. Simmons. I'm sorry, like because anybody you got, they would just do being an impersonation of J.K. Simmons being an impersonation of J.J. Jones.
Yeah.
So that, but like I don't think they're gonna start bringing in Garfield or Maguire because Sony's not that bad. I don't think Marvel's that petty that they need. They have a very strong movie already, and I think if I'm the Sony. And I'm an idiot. Again, I'm preferencing it's Sony, by the way, that they want to keep their animated multiverse things separate than the live action. Because I don't think the MCU wants the multiverse as much as the animated show does. The animated movies do. Even though you have Madness of the Multiverse for Doctor Strange. But I think that's more going to be going down the House of M storyline and him trying to get to see what's going on, going to other universes to help out. But again, I could see that's where you'd see the Garfield or the Maguire Spider-Man is in Doctor Strange more than I would see it in Spider-Man 3. Or Spider-Man, was it Spider-Man Work From Home?
Yeah.
They're shooting Spider-Man 3 right now down in Atlanta.
Yep. I mean,
and they shot some stuff in Queens already, supposedly.
Yeah.
And it was like perfect timing too, because Tom Holland just finished shooting Uncharted.
And it looks like Uncharted is following a lot of the first movie.
First game?
Yeah, the first game.
Yeah.
It's a movie. That could be a movie. So I'm really, because what you saw, Mark Wahlberg had the mustache and he had the shirt from Uncharted 3 and stuff like that. So you're not getting a standalone House of M. It's going to be WandaVision and it's going to be, Doctor Strange. I'm sorry. I want that too. I think that'd be a fantastic way to introduce the X-Men.
Yep.
But you're not going to get that.
Well, X-Men and Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four has been confirmed that.
Well, they said that possibly Ant-Man 3 would reveal Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, that would be the next scientist that would reach out to Hank Pym. Would be Mr. Fantastic. But like I said, I'm curious to see. I think we're going to find out who bought the Avengers Tower. I think it's still going to be Oscorp. I think you're going to see more hints at a larger, world. I still believe that you're going to have Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock. I think he's going to be back in as. I think you're going to introduce Daredevil, and I think you're bringing him back.
D'Onofrio does the
absolute wants to be Kingpin. He came out and says, "I want to keep being Kingpin," and I'm all for that. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anything can happen. I know, like I said, we said this is a couple. Yo-Yo, who do you want as a Fantastic Four cast? Josh Krasinski, Emily Blunt. I want Chris Evans as Johnny Storm. No,
that could be a way to bring him back.
I would want Johnny Storm to be an unknown actor.
Yeah.
I would love that to be somebody's breakout role. And then for the Thing, man, you can pick anybody. You can pick the Allstate guy for all I care. It's literally just going to be a guy in a suit. Like, it's just going to be the Mark Ruffalo of Fantastic Four. That's mine. I mean, I wouldn't mind like John Hamm. I think he would be really good.
Yep.
Who is Mr. Fantastic if you wanted to go more of the handsome Mr. Fantastic. But for me, I think it's always been John Krasinski, Emily Blunt have been the top two.
Yeah, they've been campaigning, especially John Krasinski. He's been
Well,
campaigning.
they made the characters look like them in the freaking comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. I'm very, like I said, I don't know. I hope they just do it as they did with Spider-Man. They have the powers. You don't need an origin story with Fantastic Four. It's an after effect of the stones or something like that. I think that's going to be a lot of how people get their powers. Is it's just the effects of the stones. But
Well,
the one thing I'm interested about.
It would be good to show maybe a flashback of them in space when the stones are first used.
Or like an article or something like that in the Bugle or something like that.
Yeah.
Like an interview with, Mr. Fantastic being like, or maybe they helped, maybe they stepped up. They step up and fill the void of the Avengers for a while. And that's how they enter the scene.
Yeah.
So
that could be. But you still need some sort of origin for the new fans that are getting into it.
Buy a comic book or watch the Fantastic movies. And by the way, I still like the original, the Fantastic Four, like Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, like Michael Chiklis. I thought those were really well done. I thought Victor Von Doom was perfectly cast. I thought that guy was awesome as Victor Von Doom.
Yeah.
So
did you watch the 1992 version yet?
No, I don't want to watch that. That is one of those I hate my life and I'm going to watch it after the fact.
It's on Plex.
I know there's a lot of stuff on Plex. Like Leah told me there was Halloween on Plex on Halloween, and so me and Jen go watch Halloween, and it's nowhere to be found.
It's on there now.
Now.
So funny thing about the Plex thing, me and my co-host, we have a segment called Throwback Movie Review. So we review a movie from the 1900s to now. And we've been like binging on Plex because we're like a month and a half ahead with our throwback movie reviews. And we just recently did a Connery marathon. So we did The Untouchables, Rising Sun, and Outland. We watched those two on Prime, but because Leo didn't have it. But
I want to get like Leo Blockbuster shirts. I gotta get Alex to get on that, like Leo's Blockbuster.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we never got to talk about it last week, but Connery.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I don't know what cannot be said, which has already been said. He was a great actor. I didn't see a ton of his work. I saw a lot of the older stuff, like my stuff, but between James Bond and Indiana Jones and The Rock, I thought he was really he's a great actor. Funny as hell. Like that's always what you read. I like how he just retired from acting and kind of just lived his life in Scotland until he passed away. I thought that was very admirable of him because he was in the Bahamas.
Yeah, he was trying to evade tax evasion from Scotland.
Whatever, but still, like he just kind of pulled back and kind of lived the last couple of years in semi-retirement and didn't really come out for anything. He will be missed at the end of the day. But again, it's what they have on celluloid and on film and DVDs is what he's going to be remembered for. And, it's sad to see him go, but at the same time, it was one of those things that I wasn't super sad to see him go because I don't think he left anything on the table. I think it was just stuff like Trebek this past week. That was sad. That was extremely disappointing because I felt like he had a lot left to give. And lately the joy that he's been giving us and just stuff was very important. So that was more of a surprise than Connery. I remember I woke up to Connery passing away. I was like, oh, that sucks. And then it kind of was like, I thought he already was dead because he was that old. He was 90 years old. I literally thought Sean Connery passed away like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Just because everybody's been departing.
Yeah. And also the creator of Scooby-Doo, Ruby?
Co-creator.
Well, both of them have passed now, right? Ruby and Spears.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah,
I just to say, yeah, no, I think both creators passed away.
Yeah, Spears was like a couple months ago, I think.
Yeah. You're gonna say, James?
I have to say, a randomly good movie this I watched was the Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo. Surprisingly good. I watched that with my middle kid.
Is that the new one with Batman?
No, that was the one with Elvira and Bill Nye.
Nice.
And Scarecrow. just because.
Yeah. There was a couple things we didn't talk about, and I know we're running out of time. WandaVision, as we talked about, is confirmed for this year. There's massive layoffs at DC again.
I think the comic book division's going bye-bye.
Womp womp.
Yeah, they're talking.
I would not be surprised if DC Comics shutters.
That would be sad. They said they're doing another reboot in May, and it's going to be moving a lot of titles to limited series. Out of
comics right now is not a commodity right now, and you're having better luck with these limited runs. Like I'm telling you right now, the Ghostbuster comic books are fantastically written, and they only do 6 to 10 episodes at a time, and then they take a couple months off and they do another run.
And with DC, I think there's a lot of crap DC does, and the same thing with Marvel. If they trim back what they're doing, and maybe
but it's an all or nothing mentality. Like that's the thing. Like because you're gonna have people who are like, oh, well, why did they cancel that book? Why? I like that book. I like the Chitara Teenage Years comic. Who will buy the rights to the character? They're already bought. But that's just Warner Brothers. But again, this is also just a reaction to the pandemic. Nothing's open. No comic books were open. The distributor was shut down. Well, you're hemorrhaging. And this is just corporates being corporations. Just it sucks.
Yeah. But there's still digital because Marvel still has their digital.
Like I said, the physical comic book is going away. I hope people read like that. You going into a comic book store to buy a comic book. Those days are numbered. They've been numbered for a while now. But, especially the pandemic was a nail in a coffin for a lot of small businesses. And you going to get a bank loan and open a comic book shop, they're going to look at you like you're out of your mind.
Yeah. The same. I hate to say it, but same with movies. I mean, movie theaters opened up like a few months ago, but now they're shutting down again.
Well, because there's nothing in the theater, so they're not going to keep things open because you only can show The Empire Strikes Back so many times.
Right.
Well, like I said, I think this is going to be a resurgence in the drive-in. I think you're going to have more group movie experiences that aren't in a theater.
Yeah.
Like if I had money to burn and had a hole in my pocket, I'm looking at land to build a drive-in because, especially down south where it really doesn't weather that much in the winter, you can be open all year round.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's another business venture for the Dorkening, maybe. Drive-in.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, that means we just have to go back to conventions if they ever come back.
They will. Everybody, we're all cooped up so much. As soon as there's, a vaccine and things are looking good, people are going to be out in force. Tom says, what if Marvel bought DC so fans can get the ultimate crossover movie that was popular in the comics?
Warner Brothers would never allow that.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers would cut off its nose to spite its face. Sad to say.
Yeah, with the layoffs, with the changes at WB, the layoffs with DC, maybe with a lot of the suits gone, there can be proper decisions made. The whole Zack Snyder and the Snyder cut.
Well, did you hear that Warner Brothers, depending on the cut, might give him the sequel?
Yeah, I saw that he was talking about
Wow, I've never seen an eye roll that massive from Steven before.
Next time I hear Snyder cut, I'm just gonna have to be on suicide watch. I've talked about it so much hate on the podcast. There's so much.
It's gonna be
damn Snyder cut.
I'm excited. So, Steven, I am excited to see it. My bar is like Titanic level depth low for this movie. I want to be surprised by it because I am the minority who liked Man of Steel, who liked the uncut director's cut of BVS because I felt like it actually built the story a lot more with the director's cut of that movie. So I am in that minority who liked the world that they were building.
Yeah.
I want to see where it goes. I want to see that finished picture because, like I said, you saw glimpses of those movies with Wonder Woman and Aquaman being like, "Oh, this is what good storytelling could be in this world." And like I said, I kind of want to see it, even if I just get the flashpoint and that's when they reset everything. I want at least to see it to fruition.
Yeah.
Like, especially as I'm not paying for HBO Max. It's just I'm not paying. It's not like I'm going to the theater or IMAX to see it. So.
Well, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, of course you're excited for it, Leo. I wouldn't mind a Doom Patrol movie. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So, but like for me, I'm not excited for Suicide Squad.
Suicide, that looks awesome. The Batman, I think DC is heading in the right direction.
Well, the problem is, like I said, for me, my thing is I just want another Man of Steel. I want another Superman movie with Henry Cavill.
And we're getting it.
We'll see. He hasn't, nothing's been.
Yeah, no, he
signed on to be like drop-ins. No.
It was 3 full movies, I think.
No, he's be able to appear in 3 movies. There's nothing in. Does it though? Yeah, no, there was no word on a sequel to Man of Steel. But again, who's your villain in Man of Steel? Man of Steel 2. Can't be Zod.
Can't be Luthor.
Can't be Luthor because unless, yeah. So you're going to have to do a Metallo, which I think would be awesome. I still think that's an awesome character. What? Parasite, Brainiac? Again, I wouldn't mind seeing Brainiac get the due diligence that he should get because he's such a badass.
Maybe they'll piss off the DC Grognards even more and do another repeat of Superman 4.
Nuclear Man?
Okay, yeah, it just says 3 projects. So I don't think they would waste it on cameos.
Yeah, they would. It's Warner Brothers.
No.
It's like Sony.
Well, we'll see what happens. Yo does it though.
Lobo. Wasn't Lobo in Krypton?
Yes.
Another show that got canceled prematurely. But anyway,
Lobo was in the new in the reboot of the DC animated show. I
finally watched Apocalypto War.
Yeah.
I was not impressed.
The DC one?
Yeah. How they was like, oh, it's again spoilers for this. How they're like, yeah, that would be just, Barry, you got to go back and just change a little bit to reset everything. And I'm like, really? That's the solution to that whole unbelievably awesome arc you've had with these movies for the last 10 years? You're just going to do Flashpoint 2.0? Go fuck yourself. You literally had me invested in all these movies just for John Constantine to be like, you know what you have to do, Barry.
Yep.
I mean,
it was pretty violent and it was okay.
Oh, they killed everybody. Everybody got killed. It was awesome. It was a good movie, but the ending it was one of those things like, okay, how's it gonna end? There's like, Barry, you have to do it. And I was like, come on, no. Then it just ended, and I'm like, you won't even give me an epilogue to be like, what happened after that? It just ended.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Did you watch the Superman story after that?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
No, it's okay. It's not. That would be awesome.
Bizarro would be good. He's only been in one live action thing ever, and that was Smallville.
Yep. Okay, we'll wrap things up. I know it's getting late. We didn't cover Star Trek Discovery Season 3. Or any of you?
No one. You're the only one who watches it.
My God, it's so fucking good.
You can do your own show, and you can do your own verbal vomit on the show.
It's so fucking awesome. And also, last thing, David Fincher signed a 4-year deal with Netflix, so Mindhunter could be coming back. And
I never watched Mindhunter to begin with, so
that's so good,
dude. I'm debating whether to get rid of Netflix, and we're not going down that Netflix road we did with me and Yo-Yo looked over the financial history of Netflix for 45.
Maybe he'll do a 4-part series where he apologizes 1 million times for Alien 3.
Yeah, right. That means you need Joss Whedon to apologize for Alien Resurrection.
Just real quick, Mank comes out on the 13th.
I'm excited to see that. That looks really good.
Yeah.
And I'm dying.
Okay. Well, we'll let James cough away.
I'm fine. I'm okay. You can keep running down the topics we can give her two-word answers on.
Well, it's okay. That was it. I mean, I'm shocked you guys aren't watching Star Trek Discovery season 3.
Leo, I don't think I've turned CBS All Access on in like a month.
Yeah.
Yo, we can go over the financial records of Netflix next week, okay? Just for you when you're back on the show.
I'm actually waiting for The Stand on CBS All Access.
Yes, I am waiting for The Stand too. I actually might go back. I might go back and watch the original show.
Actually, my girlfriend is more excited for it than I am. Actually, we came to an agreement. If Fat Man comes out the same time as The Stand, she's going to watch The Stand, and I'll catch up with her after I watch Fat Man, because that trailer for Fat Man with Mel Gibson as Santa and Walton Goggins as a hitman trying to kill Santa just looks so freaking awesome.
You want another random thing? Watch The Right Stuff on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
It's really good. If you like that early NASA Mercury project, they're on episode 6 right now, and I binged that. It comes out weekly.
Is that a show or a documentary? It's
a show. It's an over dramatization of the Mercury project.
And there was a movie in 1989. Yeah.
And it's based on a book and all that stuff, but it's really cool. But like about like Alan Shepard and John Glenn and like all those guys in the Mercury project and how like all this stuff. It's actually like really, really good.
Yeah.
So
I'm waiting for all the episodes to come out so I can just binge the shit out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched it. I kind of stumbled upon it. I was like, ooh, I'll watch that. But hey, Leah, I'm proud of you that you got Live from Baghdad. I'm really proud of you.
It was.
I can't find it.
Well, you can watch it now. You said it's HBO?
Yeah, I like the guy with the glasses. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's really good. If you want a good like Michael Keaton, Helen Bonham Carter film, it's called Live from Baghdad. It's about CNN being in Baghdad leading up to the first Persian Gulf War. It's really, really well done, and it's like an hour and a half. It was on YouTube for forever, and I actually had a copy of it on my old MacBook Pro. And it was like one of those movies I like to watch because it's very well shot. It's very well done. So definitely check it out. What did I just watch that I thought was really, really good? Oh, the Comey Rule. Did you watch it? Did you watch the 2 episodes?
No.
Do yourself a fucking favor and watch it. It's unbelievably like how fucked up that time period was, and that was only like 4 years ago. Like you know what it's about, right? James Comey, the FBI director.
Yeah. Yep.
It is bonkers. If you want more of like the second,
so heartbreaking that everything turned into nothing. I don't know if again.
It's not about that. That's not what that's about. It's about him looking into the Clinton emails leading up to it and him believing in the world believing he gave Trump the presidency because of that. And the first episode's about him leading up to the Trump presidency, and then it's him after Trump's elected to when he gets fired, which it was only like 5 months after it. And the guy who plays Trump is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I will say, if you are into documentaries, and check out Fahrenheit 11/9.
I can't do Michael Moore. I want him to drive off a cliff some days. Well, for me, I'm not a fan of him after I found out what he did to Matt Stone for Bowling for Columbine, how he cut up his interview and made him say something that wasn't there.
Really? It's HBO, I think.
No, it's Showtime.
Oh, Showtime? Okay.
Yep. That's why I have HBO. Like it's really like it's only 2. It's like 4 hours total. It's 2 2-hour episodes, it's if you want just a little bit more of like behind the scenes and stuff, and it's based on the book that he wrote. And what he did after every meeting with Trump is he wrote down notes about what they talked about and everything that happened. Like wrote it like on his phone and in person, so they had a record of what they talked about. It is unbelievably eye-opening and like scary. Like you're sitting there like, oh my god, this actually fucking happened. Like you think it's like fake, it's not real, like some people do, but like you're sitting there being like, you're thinking, oh, this is just blown up for dramatic purposes, and you find out like, no, this actually happened. You're like, holy shit.
Well, the stuff that's going to come out, and we don't need to get into it, but
you have 45 seconds to talk politics.
Oh my God. The stories that are going to come out of it, I'm sure there'll be plenty of movies made of the Trump presidency and even what he's doing now. I mean, the people that he's fired out of the Pentagon, he's going to try for a last minute coup. He's fired, I think, 4 people so far out of the Pentagon. Actually, today it might have been more. And replaced with his cronies.
13 seconds.
13 seconds? Nah, I can't do anymore. Sorry.
Okay.
It's just like reminiscent of a debate. You're like the moderator with the timer, and you're just trying to time him.
All right. So, Leo, with that, why don't we do the wrap up?
Okay. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and there's information in the show notes down below or up above, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. We urge you definitely, support indie artists, indie creatives. We have information for Alex Hoey, who's normally on the show. He has a comic out, his first comic. The information's in the show notes. Definitely check that out. Also, Patsy, who's normally on the show as well. He has a new book, How Much Do You Tip in Exorcist? And the link is there as well. With that, Steven, where do you like people following you?
You can follow Super Retro Throwback Reviews on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can follow us on Patreon. We're going to have 2 bonus episodes for our Patreon backers coming out, and actually one of them's coming out next week and the other one's coming out 2 weeks after that, so it'll be a week before it comes out on release. So if you want the bonus episode before it comes out for everyone else, check out our Patreon. You can check out our shows on all major podcasts and distributors: Super Retro Throwback Reviews, the Audio Files, and CSI the Vegas Files, on all major podcasts and distributors and the Dorkening Podcast Network. And you can find me here on Wednesdays.
James. Oh, you're muted.
Again. You can find me on the Dorkening every Wednesday evening. You also can find me on my tweets and the Instagrams at LongTimeStorm, as well as you could follow my show, It's Go Time with Jay and James. Just search that into Facebook and you get all the fantastic stuff. We actually just recorded our episode this afternoon. That'll be going live tomorrow around 9 o'clock, where we get the bitch and moan about the Celtics, we get the bitch and moan about the Patriots, and we get the bitch and moan about the Bruins. As we just gear up for Thanksgiving. But I do want to give a shout out. Today is Veterans Day, so if you have time, go thank a vet. I am a veteran of the United States Navy, and I've been very proud to be one. So I do want to give a shout out to my colleagues who are veterans, as well as anybody out there who's watching. So thank you very much for your service. You guys do a lot for us, and I don't think you guys get the recognition that you do deserve. So with that, everybody have a wonderful evening. And Leo, what about you?
Well said, James, and thank you, James, for your service as well. I'm just gonna say this one last thing about politics. If you are in Georgia, make sure you are registered to vote if you didn't vote in this election, because you got 2 Senate races, runoff races coming in January that are very important, super important. The whole country is depending on you. So with that, head on over to thedorkening.com, which you can find all the shows on the network. Follow these awesome people here. I got all the information in the show notes. And with that, we'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye.